My name is Claire, and I did my article on the role of PE in motor development, which is actually a research study conducted by V. Lekusic. Okay, so the purpose of this study was actually to look at different physical education programs and see if they were impacting the motor development of primary age students. So basically looking at elementary kids and seeing if their physical education program has impacted their motor development at all, or if there was no significant change at all, and just to see the difference in the motor development between the children. So the way that Lekusic carried out his study, he started by surveying all of his subjects. So basically, all the kids answered survey questions about their physical education at their school, about what physical activity they had been involved in, about their parents and their school, and just things like that, so that Lekusic could get a better idea of the people that he was testing, so he could kind of pinpoint where they should be statistically in their motor development and see how that compared. So once all of his subjects had been surveyed, he split them into several categories. So first, he split by gender, so all the boys went into one group and then all the girls went into another group. And then he categorized those boys and girls into age groups. So basically it went by their grade level. So first and second graders, third and fourth graders, fifth and sixth graders, boys, and then the same with girls. And then Lekusic and his team basically created a variety of battery tests for strength, endurance, flexibility, those types of motor skills that we know, and they were tested on them and then just scored based on their ability to do those things. So for endurance skills, they were tested on things like running and jogging. For flexibility, they were tested more on bending, stretching, and then for strength training, they actually did things like throwing medicine ball and stuff like that, just to see as far as motor development what they could do. So the results were actually a little surprising in my opinion. Lekusic did find that gender and age influenced motor development, but not as significantly as you might think. I know in my opinion, I expected that the boys were going to way excel and do significantly better than the girls, just because at that age I would think that they would be developed more, but that was actually not true. And I have these charts up here where you can see these are Lekusic's results. He actually included these in the article. He actually found that gender was pretty even, but differently. So girls actually averaged higher than boys because they were more consistent all the way along the board. They did just average better consistently in every category, but then boys would have significant jumps where they just did really, really well in certain categories. So boys tended to excel higher, and you can see on the graphs and the numbers that the boys would actually excel higher in things like strength especially, and a little bit with endurance, but then not surprisingly girls excelled more in flexibility. So what he found was that boys and girls excelled in opposing areas, but at different times. So although they might be, in terms of motor development, developing in different areas at different times, they're still developing at an equal rate, which was actually really interesting to see. And so finally, my criticism, I thought that it was a really interesting study, and I felt that it was certainly worth reading, a well-conducted study, but for me, I think that the article was a bit misleading. What drew me to the article was that it was going to test physical education programs, and as a physical education major, I was interested to see if these programs are helping with skill and motor development, and if they're not, what can be done to change that. But Lekusic actually failed to include that in the article. What I think he should have done is, when he split the groups, he should have put one category of children who had been involved in a physical education program and another category of all the children who had not, and then to look at that and see, okay, are these kids that have been in the physical education program developing more rapidly and more effectively, or is there not a significant difference? That's what I was hoping to find, and he kind of left that part out, other than telling us the information about why physical education programs are important. So for me, I think that it was definitely worth the read. It was super interesting to see those results, especially the differences between the boys and the girls. However, he maybe could have included the physical education programs into his article a little bit more. But overall, like I said, I definitely think it's worth the read and a very interesting research. Thank you.